Good morning. I'm your host, Leo Barsky, and with me today is my co-host,
Eleni Vlachos.
Behind the Glass is our WIT crew, and today's topic is the karate program for special needs, Special Dragons Karate. So, would our guests introduce ourselves?
Sure. I'm Elizabeth Constantine, licensed professional counselor here in the state of New Jersey. I specialize in affective disorders, post-traumatic stress, and adjustment disorders. My office is in Teaneck, Elizabeth Constantine, LLC.
I'm George Bostory. I'm the founder of Special Dragons Karate Program for children and now adults with special needs. We have locations in Union, Belleville, and Jersey City.
Before you start, would you want to tell us your website and the number to call?
Yes, the telephone number to reach us at is 973-667-8525. Our website is www.specialdragonskarate.org.
Okay, thank you. So let's get into it. Let's get into Special Dragons. What are the mental and socialization benefits of the program?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
The mental aspects are that the children can become more focused, they have more time on task, their cognitive processing speed has increased dramatically. Cognitive processing speed means when somebody says or asks you a question, how long it takes you to understand or respond. So that's also increased dramatically. Also, there have been increases or improvements in, what's the term again, Liz?
Neuroplasticity.
Yes, which means?
It's the brain's ability to form new neural pathways when presented with new information
Okay, the reason why we're saying that
or
is
stimulus.
lots of times when it comes to, like we're talking about the mental or the cognitive benefits, lots of times when a child comes to the program, I may say something like stick your arm straight up in the air, like I demonstrate like that. But the child doesn't do that. He puts his arm out to the side instead. So what we're doing is we're creating new neural pathways by repetition. So that way, when you tell the child to put his hand over his head, that's what he does and doesn't misinterpret the information for something else. And those are some of the mental benefits of Special Dragons and more.
From your point of view and what you've seen of Special Dragons, can you back all of this up?
I believe that's the case. They are very responsive, very engaged. They seem to be having a good time, enjoying what they're doing. And, they follow his lead and other instructors and even their parents and each other. So, you could see that repetition, the more that they do it, they get into it and they remember it. So that lasts. And if they can continue to go and develop those skills, then it sticks longer. So yeah, I believe that is true.
So like based on you see like progress, or do you see like different behavioral changes between like students who may be taking this class? Like, do you think the benefits are shown?
I believe there's research about it. I haven't been in his classes more than just an afternoon. So I did observe 2 classes in Jersey City that were back to back. And, George and I spoke about it, and I have done some reading about it, listened to Temple Granger and Graydon, and yeah, I believe that to be true. I'm sure that over time with children that are autistic, it does stick. I do believe it will continue to, enhance as long as they're engaged in it. It will continue to, help them with their motor skills and time on task, right? And cognitive processing speed and just their, there's so many benefits, their self-esteem, motivation, that you could see how engaged they are with their parents. That was very clear how they enjoyed that. And, when I saw the parents interact with them, it was, obviously a very enjoyable moment for those children.
Go more in depth into that. What have you seen specifically involving parental involvement?
The parents actually helping them with the karate moves that George is instructing them to do. So they're very hands-on, and George will help them help the kids, and they kind of been watching, and I think most of them that attend there, go there all the time, right, George?
Yes.
So, they have an idea about what they're doing. Everybody seemed to look like they've done it before, it wasn't their first time.
We sort of used the village approach.
Mhm.
What are classes? We have the instructors up there. Sometimes we also have volunteers who help out. There could be a lead student, one of our students who has progressed enough and he can demonstrate techniques. And also, as Liz just said, the parents play a key part in our program because the parents are allowed to work out with the children, the Special Dragons, either permanently or some parents want to be able to be weaned off the mat so the child becomes more independent. I think it's important to realize what the goal of Special Dragons is. The goal is not to become Bruce Lee or to become Chuck Norris. It's to take basic karate, to address basic skills that many of our special needs children are challenged by. Things like eye-hand coordination, motor control, conditioning, balance, sensory integration, focus, time on task are all well addressed through our Special Dragons karate program. The program is designed, like I said, not to turn your child into Bruce Lee, but to learn these skills like the eye-hand coordination, the things that I just mentioned, and to take them into their everyday world, whether that be at home, with their friends, or in the public school that they may be attending.
That's really interesting, George. What did you have in mind when you first started Special Dragons Karate? Was this always what it was meant to be? Or tell us your story.
Well, I'm a special education teacher by trade. The last position I had was in Wayne, New Jersey, until Special Dragons grew to the point I had to choose one of them, and I chose Special Dragons. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
What's your story? How did you build Special Dragons?
Well, I'm a special education teacher, so that gives me part of the credentials to be able to do that. And then I have my black belt martial arts skills. So I just have the skill set to combine those two things together, to be able to create Special Dragons. Also, we realized that there was a complete vacuum of activities for special education children to attend after school hours are over. In other words, when our school day is over, you get to go to baseball practice or basketball or whatever. All those programs don't exist in schools for special needs children once the school day is over. So because we saw a complete lack of programs for special needs kids, we created one.
Wow.
Special Dragons.
Yeah, it's really
That's
interesting.
great. Yeah. Also, we want to ask you, what are your credentials and what brought you to, where you are right now?
Well, I met George 5 months ago, and I was really impressed with what he told me he was doing and whatnot. So I had to go investigate, and that's, that Saturday afternoon I spent over there, and I had never actually heard of or karate for special needs. And, I do have clients that are on the spectrum, on different levels on the spectrum all over the place, because they also suffer from anxiety and depression and have adjustment issues and all that other stuff too, so, yeah. Did that answer you? Oh, my credentials, okay.
Yes.
I have a master's in mental health. I have a bachelor's in a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science. And my master's is for mental health counseling. It was specific to train us to be psychotherapists. I'm licensed by the Board of Marriage and Family Therapists as a professional counselor. We came along way after the social work people. We did not want to be called social workers because psychotherapy has nothing to do with actual social work. So we got snobby, and the Marriage and Family Board decided, hey, well, we'll give you a credential. So that's how it came about. And I was really happy about that. So that's, where it started. I also have a national certification as a counselor and a clinical hypnotherapist.
Wow.
Wow, you seem very educated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
George, do you have any specific success stories from Special Dragons?
I have a lot of success stories in Special Dragons. In many cases, when a parent brings their child to our program, some of these children can't even stay still for a few moments. I mean, we have little place spots, little colored circles that they're supposed to stand on during portions of the lesson. And they can't stand on, they'll run right off, and their parent is chasing them down and bringing them back. But then over time, over a week or two, they could spend 5 or 10 minutes now on that circle following directions of the class. As a month or two goes by, then over time, they're able to endure an entire class now and pay attention and follow along with the class, which is a miracle to some parents who has a kid who hasn't been doing that at all. Other success stories, we get lots of nonverbal students, which means the child doesn't speak yet, but through class and repetition, saying the same thing, even just counting simple 1 through 10 as we're doing the different exercises. There's been a few children who spoke their first words in our Special Dragons class, which I'm very proud of. Other people who are slightly higher functioning perform pretty good karate. I have a couple of students that are formidable now. They're at higher levels too.
Can you explain what formidable means?
They can actually get in there and do karate and fight. I have a couple of students that are capable of standing in front of me and putting on a formidable fight, or sparring, we call that in class. It's not a real fight, it's a practice fight with a lot of controls over it to make sure that nobody gets hurt. And also, not all my students spar, only the most advanced students spar. Other students who aren't quite at that level yet, I'll let them spar with me, so that way they're assured of not getting hurt within the practice.
It sounds like you give a huge room for improvement. You help them get there.
Excuse me?
It sounds like your program has a huge room for improvement for a specific.
Yes, and every child makes their own kind of improvement also. Some children, like I mentioned before, just standing still long enough to take instructions is a great improvement for some students. Other students are actually working on perfecting very good karate techniques. It all depends on upon the individual student, how we teach them.
So
Everybody's
great
different.
benefits all around.
Yeah.
No, I just say we have great benefits all around
Oh,
that we're
yes,
hearing
nice.
from you. Yeah.
And you said, are you a nonprofit or a for-profit?
We're a nonprofit organization.
Okay. And do you have any payment plans, or how accessible is your program?
Very. Some students come for free, or outside organizations sponsor them. Care management organizations for the state or for the county. Children's Mobile Response could be another organization that sends us students and also sends us funding to the DCPMP, that used to be DIFUS, also sends us students. Catholic Charities sponsors students. So that's one way that students come, where they're not paying directly, somebody else pays for them. If a family walks through the door without any kind of corporate sponsorship behind them, we discount the price to them drastically. So they come for $150 a month. If they can't afford that, and they're some kind of a family that's in financial challenges at the moment, financial strife might be a better word to say it, we examine that also. We have a sliding scale that goes down to $99 also. If they don't have that, we also accept students completely pro bono also, that we pay for the students for a matter of months. So nobody ever gets turned away from Special Dragons.
No one. You've never turned anyone away?
We never turned to, I have to take that back. On occasion, we get a student who might be on the violent side. If the student is capable or wants to hurt another student, we won't allow that on the mat. In that case, that kind of a student won't be allowed to participate in the program.
So in your words, Special Dragons is a very safe program.
It's very safe haven for the children in every way.
And Elizabeth, what other special needs could be helped by Special Dragons?
Affective disorders, anxiety, depression. They're engaged. Their parents are there. They have each other. They're making friends. They're involved in an activity. And from what I observe about the movement and moving around, they don't do it. It's amazing. You think that they didn't even have anything, like autism. They are very much paying attention. They're following him. They're following the other instructor. They're engaged with their parents. I mean, it's unbelievable how they can stop being all over the place and just focus and do, what he's instructing them to do. So they're enjoying it. They're happy campers from what I saw.
Yeah, the program has become a fabulous success.
So would you guys recommend any specific age groups to, kind of partake in this kind of therapy, or is it just all around?
No, let me tell you what our age groups are. We have age groups. There's two. One group is from 5 years old going up to 11 years old. And immediately following the next class would be older students from 12 years old going up to 21 years old. And also in different applications, we also have an on-location program too, which means that we may travel to a public school or to a special needs school and give the lesson on their location rather than one of our locations. So we have an on-location program too.
Okay. So speaking of schools, do you have any advertisements of your business in any schools or any?
Well, we've been to many schools. Examples might be Hoboken, New Jersey, the public school system, and Bayonne, New Jersey. We work with their recreation department with both adults and children in Bayonne. We go to special needs schools like ARC of New Jersey or ARC, ARC, of different counties in New Jersey too. Spectrum 360 is another special needs school that we've also been to, among others also. So we are out in different school systems, and we visit a lot of special needs. We visit a lot of school systems that are built around special needs. They usually hire us for a month or two, or sometimes for a semester, to come in and teach at their school or at their program.
And speaking of that, where are you located?
We have 3 locations that people come to us. The first one is in Union, New Jersey, which is on Mondays. We have Belleville, New Jersey for Essex County, that's on Wednesdays. And Jersey City is on Saturdays, and that's for Hudson County.
Do you own all these locations?
I don't own the buildings, but yes, but I own the program.
Okay. And Elizabeth, sorry, I just have one more question.
Sure.
Do you think overall, what do you think is the main special needs that can be helped the most by Special Dragons?
Socialization.
Socialization. And in Special Dragons, do kids socialize with other kids?
It's a major part of the program. A main concern of many families with special needs children is that their children don't have any friends or don't have a lot of friends. So Special Dragons is a safe haven for children to come down and meet other children and like-minded parents. So they come and they see us, they're once a week at the programs that they come to visit us. But many of the children and parents have now formed relationships where they see each other outside of our karate program. So so building friendship and building camaraderies is a major goal of Special Dragons.
You guys sound like you're a big part of the community, but you also sound like you're creating your own community for all special needs kids.
I think I may have mentioned before that we kind of create a village situation. So everybody who comes down there, from the students themselves to lead students, to our instructors, to volunteers, and to the parents helping, we all work together to build the best program that we possibly can for Special Dragons.
To me, this sounds like the perfect program. You're building
Yes.
a community that can help
Yeah, it sounds great.
that can help special needs kids come together and build on their needs.
On their strengths.
Yeah, on their strengths.
Yes.
I think that's where we'll end it. Do you wanna one more time go over all
The
your
websites.
Oh,
contacts?
Sure. Again, our organization's name is Special Dragons. We are a karate program for children with autism and other disabilities, and now we're including adults too in certain situations. We have a website, which is www.specialdragonskarate.org. We also have a Facebook page too. You can find Special Dragons on Facebook. So if you see us, like us, and we hope that we hear from you.
And do you want to name your business one more time?
Sure, it's Elizabeth Constantine, LLC.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thanks to our panel. I'm Leo Barsky, my co-host,
Eleni.
and this is George, Elizabeth, Special Dragons. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
So
having
on
us.
WIT Podcasting.